Hello, lovely people. Today we're going to talk about house curves. When we tune, we need to tune our system to a specific house curve that we choose in advance. Now, I use Jazzis Tuning Companion and I have my custom house curve. In this companion, you can choose a few different ones, so like white ledge, half white ledge, JBL, Jazzis. I have my custom one, which has specific values, and it looks like this. So if I transport all the house curves into REW, so this is my custom house curve, yeah? And then you have, for example, Jesse's house curve, which has a dip at about 2.5K, and this rise, which is not like linear, it has something. Then you have, for example, JBL Andy, which has tapered top end and rising until 60 and then flat. And then we have white ledge, which is like full white ledge and half white ledge. And all these house curves is personal preference. My personal preference is this, which is flat, like 200 or like 300 up to 20K totally flat, and then gradually rising. And even Peter from PS Sound, he tunes with I think he mentions like 3 dB per octave down, so like from 200 to 100, that's 3 dB, then down to 50 plus 6 dB, and etc, etc. Now, as I mentioned, this is personal preference. Now, I have in my tune, I have about 11 dB plus at 30 hertz. So 31 hertz, 10.5, so like 11 dB down to 30 hertz. And you might want more or less bass, but you would want to keep this target as linear as possible. Now, like if you want more bass, you want like plus 15 dB down to 30 hertz, or if you don't like bass, maybe you want less, like for competition, you want really, really little bass. So you want like maybe 5 dB at 30 hertz. Now, what kind of values do you need to put into Jazzis tuning guide here to have those linear response? Because like if you start playing these values, I was literally playing with these values, entering them and checking, entering and checking. However, REW on a x-axis, it has logarithmic scale, so hertz are in logarithmic scale. So if we would plot a logarithmic function on a logarithmic scale, it's gonna be flat. It won't have this like gradual rising, but it would be something like this. So this is linear rise from 200 hertz down to whatever. So like at 30 hertz here, we have exactly 10 dB plus. And this height is like how much bass do you want? You want 15 dB? Just put higher. Less? Just put shallower. So how do we know these values and this slope? So what I did, because since it's a logarithmic function, I just went to the internet, I found a logarithmic function calculator and entered. So at 30 hertz, I want 20 dB. At 200 hertz, I want nothing, but zero, it doesn't calculate, so I put just 0.2 and it gives me these values. And what I did, I made a spreadsheet with this particular function. So those values, logarithmic function, and times the frequency. So this is the frequency from the Jazzis tuning curve. And the highlighted row, I'm going to upload this document somewhere so you can find it. The highlighted row is how much rise you want for 30 hertz. So for some reason, Jazzis tuning guide has 20, 25, 31, not 30. I don't know why, but 30. So these are the values. If you want, for example, if you're heavy on bass, you want 20 dB plus on bass. So just take this column copy, go to Jazzis tuning guide here, and you paste it. But when you paste it, choose paste only values, because it's gonna paste all the formula from Excel. So only values, and here you have that rising curve that gives you plus 20 dB at 30 hertz. And then you just save it, export these files, save it, and import into REW. So actually we can do that. Jazzy, export. So I'm gonna save it here because I saved all of them. Custom, yes. REW, and now I'm not gonna find that folder. Yeah, I should have prepared for this. Desktop. Go, and this is gonna be custom. Is it this one? This one. Overall, I'm gonna import it, and this one you can see it has a much steeper slope. And this blip, because I didn't delete, see these, I didn't delete these, so these should be 0. I just forgot to delete them. Yeah. So basically now you have a rising slope and you have plus 20 dB at 30 hertz. And basically using these instead of, you can make your own if you want, but I did it in 1 dB increments. So if you want from 5 dB up to 20 dB, because I don't know if anybody will want more than 20 dB plus and less than 5 unless it's totally flat. But basically you take the column, you paste it in the Jazzis tuning guide, it makes you a curve, export and import into REW, and then you have this overall curve, exactly the amount of bass that you want for your particular taste. And if you don't like it, you can change it and you can tune it again. Yeah. I didn't mention anything about the crossovers and waves because this is just the overall, and Jazzy will adjust everything according to the overall curve. And yeah, so I'm gonna upload this spreadsheet somewhere, or maybe just values, use it. If you don't want it, don't. You can make it your own. But I think it's gonna be useful for some. It's surely gonna be useful for me. And if you know how to make, because my math knowledge is extremely old from uni, it's been like more than 10 years, I don't remember anything. If you know what kind of formula will give me this nice rising curve, because now if I put logarithmic, it's going to give me a line on the logarithmic scale, but what kind of formula is going to give me this one? If you know, put it in the comments, and I'm going to just change the spreadsheet. But yeah, so this is for you to help you to have a specific rise in bass as you want, depending on your taste. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.